Vivo V9 presents the News Hour at 9, driven by Hyundai, co-powered by Siska. Light years ahead.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. In a candid, stunning admission by Congress insider and Rahul Gandhi's senior leader, Salman Khurshid, has sparked off a massive political face-off. Congress's hands stained by blood, admits Salman Khurshid. But before I deep dive into this debate, here are the top headlines this Tuesday evening.
मुझे मानने दीजिए कि हमारे दामन में खून के धब्बे हैं.
Congress insider Salman Khurshid indicts party and self, admits that the Congress has blood on its hands. Can Rahul deny this?
You were the killers of the Muslims. You were the killers of the Sikhs way back in 1984.
BJP ups the ante, says not just Muslims, but Congress also has blood of Sikhs and Kashmiri Pandits on their hands. Shocking cash for votes in Karnataka. Both BJP Congress supporters caught on camera distributing 500 rupee notes ahead of polls. Prime Minister sends a clear message to Pakistan that talks and terror cannot go hand in hand. SAARC summit likely to be put on hold for now.
You're watching the News Hour at 9.
Senior Congress leader and former Law Minister Salman Khurshid, while holding up the mirror to his own party, the Congress party, today admitted that he believes that the Congress has blood on its hands. He was replying to a question put up by an Aligarh Muslim University student referring to a long list of communal riots under the Congress regime. And tonight, ladies and gentlemen, I tell you why that question was a valid one. Can the Congress easily forget the blot of 1984, where more than 2,000 Sikhs were mercilessly butchered at the hands of the Congress loyalists? Can the Congress party forget the Meerut massacre under its own rule that saw more than 350 killed? Or can the Congress ignore the ethnic riots in Assam under the Tarun Gogoi rule that saw 62 people pay with their lives? And what about Muzaffarnagar? In 2013, UPA government failed to control a deadly Hindu-Muslim riot, which Khurshid rightly refers to blood-stained hands of the Congress party. So, ladies and gentlemen, this brings me to my legitimate question tonight. After Salman Khurshid's admission, can the Congress assume the moral high ground on inclusive politics? That is the big story, and this report will explain why Khurshid has deeply embarrassed the Congress party.
मुझे मानने दीजिए कि हमारे दामन में खून के धब्बे हैं.
A credible insider admitting to grievous mistakes made in the past.
तो ये तमाम जो खून के धब्बे कांग्रेस के दामन पर मुसलमानों के हैं, इन धब्बों को आप किन अल्फाज के साथ ढूंढेंगे वो प्लीज.
अच्छा, आपका नहीं पॉलिटिकल क्वेश्चन है. हमारे दामन में खून के धब्बे हैं. हमारी
कांग्रेस
का वही हिस्सा हो. मुझे मानने दीजिए कि हमारे दामन में खून के धब्बे हैं. इसी वजह से आप हमसे कह रहे हैं कि अब कोई वार आप पर करे तो हमें बढ़कर उसको रोकना नहीं चाहिए.
नहीं, मैं कह रहा हूं आप उन धब्बों
नहीं बता रहा हूं ना. हम ये धब्बे दिखाएंगे कि तुम समझो कि ये धब्बे हम पर लगे हैं. ये धब्बे तुम पे ना लगे. तुम वार इन पे करोगे, धब्बे तुम्हारे लगेंगे. हमारे इतिहास से कुछ सीखो और समझो. हमारे इतिहास से सीखो और समझो. और इस अपना हशर ऐसा मत करो कि तुम 10 साल बाद अलीगढ़ यूनिवर्सिटी आओ और आप जैसा कोई सवाल पूछने वाला भी ना मिले.
The explosive admission of having blood on its hands, embarrassing the Congress party. Khurshid's poetic and academic confession coming days after Congress president professed his philosophy of love that drove his politics.
वो तोड़ते हैं, हम जोड़ते हैं. वो आग लगाते हैं, हम बुझाते हैं. वो गुस्सा करते हैं, हम प्यार करते हैं. ये फर्क है हम में और उनमें.
Khurshid, as usual, resorting to some wordplay, invoking Ghalib's poetry and concluding with a bit of condescension for the media.
मेरा ये मानना है कि कुछ हम गिरफ्ते गर्द से दौरा में आ गए और कुछ दिल तुम्हारे इश्क में साबित कदम ना था. जिनको शायरी का शौक है, उनको, जिन्हें ये शायरी का शौक है ना, उनको ये बता दो. एक दफा कभी बहादुर शाह जफर के सामने गालिब ने ये कहा था कि जिनको दावा है सुखन का, ये कह दो उनसे इस तरह लिखते हैं सुखनवर सहरा. तो जो लोग ज्यादा शायरी सुनाते हैं उनको ही जवाब दीजिए.
As a representative of the Congress party, that there is.
I am not a representative of the Congress party. I am the Congress party. I live, breathe, speak, dream and speak the Congress party. I not reply.
Sir, but do you believe that Congress party should in fact apologize for these massive riots?
I think you should apologize. I think you should apologize for the riots that you are creating.
But the BJP having a field day, further piling on the misery for the Congress party.
Mr. Rahul Gandhi should answer. Is this the way the Congress party takes forward the idea of Samvidhan Bachao? When you are exposed to the fact that you were the killers of the Muslims, you were the killers of the Sikhs way back in 1984.
After Khurshid's admission, can Congress assume the moral high ground on inclusive politics? Bureau Report, Times Now.
And the man in the middle of the controversy, Mr. Salman Khurshid, the former Union Law Minister, joins me live. Salman Khurshid, the question is, the student who asked you if the Congress has blood on its hands, you said yes. Put politics aside, Mr. Salman Khurshid. Do you think the Congress has to take responsibility for some of these riots, because history has witnessed these riots in the Congress regime?
Well, your channel has said that I said yes. Therefore, my saying that I didn't say yes would amount to questioning your channel. We've already had a half day of reporting on your channel saying that I said yes. Somebody accused my party. I said, are you accusing me? And he said, no, I'm accusing your party. I said, if you accuse my party, you're accusing me. You're saying that we have done wrong and there are spots of blood on our clothes. This is what you're saying. But let me ask you a question. Although you are making this allegation against us, tomorrow if somebody comes to harm you, somebody comes to hurt you, would it not be my duty to protect you? Would it not be my duty to keep you away from harm? Would I not be entitled to tell those people that what you are doing to this man will bring spots on your clothes? So this is a philosophical position that I took to say to him that we have to help each other. That we have to help each other. How do we help each other? How do we help each other? I have to protect you. Now you are talking about the past, I'm talking about the present, and I'm talking about the future. We were not there to discuss and take a final view on the wrongs that had happened in the past and who was responsible for it. We were there to discuss what we were to look forward to, and that's what the idea was. These were young people at a university, and I could only say in methods, the best method available to me to communicate with them is to say that, look, I have a duty to protect you, I have a duty to preserve you, and to tell people who attack you that you will hurt yourself if you hurt people like you.
Mr. Salman Khurshid, that's a very, very convenient position to take. Don't talk about the past, talk about the future. Well, political parties very often can't run away from the history that they've created. And Mr. Khurshid, you've blamed the media. What has the media distorted? These were your words, they are on camera, and we've repeated verbatim what you have stated.
I'm sorry, it was completely the opposite, and I'm deeply saddened that because you took a different view, that is the view that was communicated to my party media wing, and my party media wing immediately said that we disassociate with this view. Now, you disassociate with the view if the view was there. If I take a view that my party is rotten, then you can disassociate with it. If I'm protecting my party, if I'm taking a position that anything you do to accuse my party, you end up accusing me. If I'm saying this to a
person who happens to be a rusticated student of that university. Matters not that he's rusticated, that he should not have been in the meeting. He obviously is a frustrated young child, and he wanted to raise some issues that for him were important. This is the best way in which I could answer it. I couldn't have got into a spat with him and said, prove this and prove that. That was not the purpose of my visit. The purpose of my visit was to acknowledge the good work that had been done by members of the hall, the residential hall in Aligarh, Ambedkar Hall. I had gone there for the annual day. So my purpose was not to, in fact, others didn't want him to ask any questions because questions were not built into the program. But I said, this is a democratic life. Let him ask a question. Let me answer that question. And I answered to the best of my ability. I'm amazed. I'm shocked. I'm traumatized that somebody should think that I went there to make a confession about my party being wrong, that my party having let down people, or they have let down a particular community. I'm just absolutely and utterly shocked that this should have happened.
Well, whenever in trouble, blame the media. But Mr. Salman Khurshid, I ask you a simple question. Can the Congress get away without an iota of blame for the Sikh riots that took place in Delhi in 1984, for instance? Can you say your slate is clean and that you have nothing to really hold on to your conscience to for the Sikh riots in Delhi in 1984?
I don't know. I mean, the truth is not something that every time we come in front of the media, we'll have to take out a book and then say, from the year of the Lord 1112, what are the wrongs that have happened in the land which is the land of India, etc. These are things that are in a democracy that are debated when they happen, they are reported when they happen, they are then taken up at elections, elections then decide responsibility, apportionment of blame, you do introspection, you think about what went wrong, to what extent anyone amongst you is responsible for what went wrong, and what is the appropriate steps that you should take to reach out to people who are victims or who felt something is wrong. But importance of all this is that there has to be honesty and candor. You have to accept your history, you have to accept your legacy, you have to accept your present, and you have to accept what your hopes for the future are. If you're going to be artificial and say everything was right in the past, everything is right in the present, and everything will be bright in the future, then frankly you're not really getting anywhere in a democracy.
Mr. Salman Khurshid, you're almost talking in the third person. You're talking philosophically. I ask you a simple question, and people of this country want to ask you, are you different from the Congress? Can you talk about the Congress party and the Congress party talk about you in the third person?
I am born of Congress. I am made of Congress. I have been made by Congress, and I believe that it's my duty as a person interested in public life, it's my duty to protect and preserve the Congress in every way. Now, therefore, it comes as a terrible shock when somebody says we respectfully or disrespectfully disagree with him. I could also say I respectfully disagree with the one who respectfully disagrees with me, but they may have been myopic, they may have not studied what the background was, they may have misunderstood what the media had reported, but truly, I am very saddened about what the media has done. Things can go wrong once in a while, but when you come determined to run a particular dimension and say that this is really what he has said, and you don't look to the words, you don't look to what happened, you don't look to the truth, you don't look to the facts, you don't go and ask for the facts, you don't go and discover the facts, and you run a story. The only thing that I can think of is that one should cut off and just tell the media, go find somebody else. I'm obviously not good enough for you.
Mr. Salman Khurshid, it's very well to make the media your whipping boys. We've reported the way it's been stated in public, it's on camera. You know, you're attributing motives to the media. But I ask you a very basic question. Does politics dictate you always to blame your opponent? You've blamed the BJP several times. But are you not somebody who's responsible enough to look at your own history, to look within your own party on how deeply responsible you've been and your party's been for the history of riots in this country?
I don't know. Each one of us has his own way of looking at our responsibilities. Some of us are more reflective, some of us are more analytical, or some of us are more sensitive. In understanding what our responsibilities to society and to our party are. So everybody can't be the same. And I believe that if there is a difference in terms of how we approach what are critical subjects about our future, which are critical subjects of our understanding of our own ideology, I believe that there should be free play amongst the public figures in our party, and there should be greater faith and understanding. But to anticipate and assume that somebody would make a statement that seems somewhat wrong, and without checking and without asking, condemning it or disassociating from it is, I think, is bad politics. I think it's really, really very bad politics.
Well, on that note, Mr. Salman Khurshid, thank you very much. Thank you very much for being candid. Thank you very much for coming out and making your point of view clear. And of course, you've decided to go after the media, but thank you for taking the questions, because if you say you've been misunderstood, you've at least taken the time off to convey your point of view. Thank you very much, Mr. Khurshid, for that.
You're watching the News Hour at 9, debate number 1 on Times Now, Super Prime Time.
And going across to the big debate, Kong stained by blood, the big debate. Are you convinced by what Salman Khurshid has said in defense of himself? Joining me this evening, Dr. Sambit Patra, National Spokesperson of the BJP, Shehzad Poonawala, lawyer R. Rajagopalan, senior journalist, Tehseen Poonawala, political analyst, Sumant Siraman, political analyst, and Ashutosh Mishra, senior journalist. And also with us tonight, Amir, student of the Aligarh Muslim University, who posed those questions to Salman Khurshid. All in our studio tonight. And first, let me go across to our segment called The Standpoint. 90 seconds for both sides to present their points of views. Tonight, Ashutosh Mishra takes on Dr. Sambit Patra. Ashutosh Mishra, I come across to you first. Dr. Salman Khurshid has tried every explanation in the book, from saying he didn't make the statement that he did, from saying that he's being democratic when he allowed Amir to ask the question, from saying that history is not something that you should be looking at, it's actually the future that people should be looking at. Everything has been said except taking onus for the fact that there have been scores of riots that have been held in this country under the Congress regime. Not one apology for that.
Actually, Salman Khurshid should be hailed for taking the first step to warn the younger generation of all the danger that comes with falling into this political trap where one religion is pitted against another. Today, he is speaking on the same line as Shri Atal Bihari Vajpayee did when he warned the then Gujarat Chief Minister about following his Raj Dharma. He was telling everyone, he was telling those students that there should be proper governance, that when we speak to each other, it should be like we are speaking to another Indian, not a Hindu-Muslim fight. In today's era, when one of the chief ministers says, I am a Hindu, but I don't celebrate Eid, it's like the politics of divide and rule. He is a voice of sanity and peace who tells the younger generation, let's play the game by the book. And what is the book? Is the Constitution. Let's follow that. What's happening today is that he's being, what he has said is being twisted. And what we are saying is that BJP, which is desperate to win the elections in Karnataka, is again twisting the facts. Today we have had this Home Ministry report which says that whenever there are elections, the top 4 states are UP, Karnataka, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan. And 3 of those states are we are going to have elections. So this Hindu-Muslim divide, creating the Hindu-Muslim divide, suits BJP, and that's what exactly is happening.
Well, Ashutosh Mishra, I don't know what's the point, what's the defense of the Congress party that you wanted to make, because I haven't understood it. Dr. Sambit Patra, did you? Did you? What's your counter to Ashutosh Mishra?
Both to Mr. Ashutosh Mishra as well as to Mr. Salman Khurshid. Now that they have been caught and they have exposed the Congress party, suddenly they try to become Ghalibs. I mean, I don't understand Ghalib, so complicated, Shero Shairi. So for God's sake, let me come down to ground. Mr. Salman Khurshid, upon being questioned by you, was saying that it is my duty to protect you, it is my duty to save you. That's what we were saying. All these years you were in governance, you did not protect, you did not save the people who died because of your non-performance in various communal riots, which you yourself accepted. It's not just the Muslims that you were talking about, sir. Even the Sikhs who had been butchered in 1984, even the Kashmiri Pandits who had to flee their homes, who had to face rape and butchery in Kashmir, and you were silent. Even the Hindus who were tagged as saffron terror. And today, the best thing that I should do is read out the list of the communal riots that took place during the Congress regime and how many people lost their life. 1947 Bengal riots, more than 10,000 people killed. 1964 Raurkela and Jamshedpur, 2,000 killed. 67 Ranchi, 200 killed. 69 Ahmedabad, 512 killed. In the state, 15,000 killed. 1970 Bhiwandi, Maharashtra, 80 killed. 1980 Moradabad, 2,000 killed. 1983 Nelly, 5,000 killed. 1984 6, 3,000 killed. 1984 Bhiwandi, 146 killed. 1985 Ahmedabad, 300 killed. 1986 again Ahmedabad, 300 killed. 1987 Meerut, 81 killed. 1989 Bhagalpur, 2000 killed. 1919 Hyderabad, 132 killed. 1992 Mumbai, 2000 killed. The time is up, but the list is still not up. List abhi baki hai.
List abhi baki hai, Sambit Patra, but let me open up the debate. The debate is here, and the debate really asks the question. And Tehseen Poonawalla, before I come across to you, I want to go across to Amir. Amir, who's from the Aligarh Muslim University. Amir, you've been called on the channel a political heckler. Somebody who's sitting right next to you, Ashutosh Mishra, in the previous program has called you a political heckler. Now, it's time for you to come clean. Were you there with a clear agenda to heckle Mr. Salman Khurshid? Were you planted there by somebody? I think that's what you meant by saying he is a political heckler. Were you planted in the audience with some questions that you wanted to ask Mr. Salman Khurshid? There were people who were trying to stop you from answering the question, but Mr. Salman Khurshid says it was democratic for him to allow you to ask the question. So tell us what happened at the Aligarh Muslim University.
Actually, can I speak in Hindi?
Yes, speak.
Okay. Actually, आज हम 2018 में खड़े हैं. सलमान खुर्शीद साहब अलीगढ़ मुस्लिम यूनिवर्सिटी में आए. हम आज की जनरेशन है, आज की यंग जनरेशन है, और स्टूडेंट होने के नाते जाहिर है कि हम पढ़े लिखे हैं, पढ़ा लिखा तबका है सोसाइटी का. अब सवाल ये होता है कि आज का तबका अगर कांग्रेस के एक लीडर से ये सवाल कर रहा है आज 70 सालों का, और मैंने ये नहीं कहा कि कांग्रेस ने 70 सालों में मुसलमानों को मारा, मैंने इंसिडेंट्स नोट करे पॉइंट बाय पॉइंट, मैंने सारी चीज़ें बताई. 1948 में एमयू एक्ट का पहला अमेंडमेंट, 1950 का प्रेसिडेंशियल ऑर्डर, उसके बाद सारे राइट्स मेनली जो मेन थे हाशिमपुरा, मलियाना, मुरादाबाद, अलीगढ़, मेरठ और भागलपुर वगैरह सारे मैंने शॉर्ट में लिस्ट उनको उसको पॉइंट आउट किया. उसके बाद बाबरी मस्जिद के दरवाज़ों का खुलना, बाबरी मस्जिद के अंदर मूर्तियों का रखना और बाबरी मस्जिद की शहादत, ये सब कुछ कांग्रेस रिजीम में हुआ जो मैंने पॉइंट बाय पॉइंट उनके सामने रखा. उसके बाद फिर मैंने अपना क्वेश्चन रखा कि मुसलमानों के खून के ये जो धब्बे आपके कांग्रेस के दामन पर हैं, उन धब्बों को आप किन अल्फाज के साथ धोएंगे, बिकॉज यू आर अ लीडर फ्रॉम कांग्रेस, है ना, तो आप उन धब्बों को किन अल्फाज के साथ धोएंगे. तो मैंने पॉइंट बाय पॉइंट सब कुछ उनके सामने रखा है. तो अगर मैंने पॉइंट बाय पॉइंट रखा है, दैट मीन्स कि वो हुआ है. मैंने अपने आप से तो जनरेट नहीं किया ना. अगर हुआ है तो 70 सालों में आपने जो कुछ किया है, तो 70 साल बाद की आपकी जो यंग जनरेशन है आज वो सवाल कर रही है. तो आप इसके ऊपर ये एलिगेशन लगा रहे हैं कि उसको किसी ने प्लांट किया है. तो लेट मी क्लियर कि मेरा किसी भी पॉलिटिकल ऑर्गेनाइजेशन से कोई भी ताल्लुक एज सच नहीं है. आप मेरे ट्विटर, फेसबुक अकाउंट्स चेक कर सकते हैं. अगर मेरा लिंक होता तो आपको उसके
आशुतोष मिश्रा जी जवाब दीजिए, जवाब दीजिए.
ये जवाब वहां पे अगर एज ए स्टूडेंट आप थे और ये जो था ये पॉलिटिकल वो नहीं था इवेंट, तो वहां पे आप ये गड़े मुर्दे क्यों खड़ा रहे?
अशोक, अच्छा तो सवाल
बहुत ही किया आपने। आशुतोष मिश्रा आपकी मां है, आप कांग्रेस को नहीं बोल रहे। वो मुझसे कह रहे हैं बिल्कुल आपने ठीक कहो, सामने बैठे हैं उसको, सामने बैठे उसको कम से कम।
It's a dialogue. Let's have a dialogue.
What is a dialogue?
Ashutosh Mishra, 1 minute.
Muslim community against you.
1 minute.
Because they're all accusing you.
Let a Muslim speak.
Congress.
Okay, Mr. Rajagopalan, Mr. Ashutosh Mishra.
You are a congressman.
Okay, Mr. Rajagopalan. Mr. Ashutosh Mishra, the last time I heard, it was the Congress party that had problems with the BJP for not allowing the right for freedom of expression. Now you are saying, why is Amir asking that question? Are you taking away the right to freedom of expression?
Can he say he wasn't answered? He got an answer.
तो आप तो उनसे कह रहे हैं कि आपने सवाल ही क्यों पूछा?
नहीं, मैंने ये नहीं कहा। जो उस जगह पे जिस चीज के बारे में वो पूरी चीज
तो आपने एलिगेशन लगा दिया कि मैं किसी पॉलिटिकल पार्टी से
शहजाद पूनावाला
आयोजन के खिलाफ जाके
तो पॉलिटिकल फिगर्स के लिए
आपने कहा क्या वो जगह थी गड़े मुर्दे उखाड़ने की?
जी हाँ,
क्या वो जगह थी गड़े मुर्दे उखाड़ने की? क्या फ्रीडम ऑफ एक्सप्रेशन का राइट नहीं है?
फ्रीडम ऑफ एक्सप्रेशन में उनको जवाब मिल गया।
शहजाद पूनावाला आपसे कह रहे हैं, ही इज आल्सो अ यंग मुस्लिम।
आई जस्ट हैव एन आंसर फॉर दैट। आपकी बात बिल्कुल सही आशुतोष जी, क्या वो जगह थी गड़े मुर्दे उखाड़ने की? मैं आपके माध्यम से चैलेंज करता हूं, राहुल गांधी आमिर को और मुझे 15 मिनट दे दे। वो मोदी से 15 मिनट मांगते ना, मैं 15 मिनट मांगता हूं, आमिर के 7.5 मिनट, 7.5 मिनट। हम 70 साल का हिसाब मांगना चाहते हैं। आप दे सकते हैं राहुल गांधी हमें 15 मिनट? दे सकते हैं राहुल गांधी हमें 15 मिनट? नहीं देते। इसलिए जब हम आवाज उठाते हैं तो हमारी आवाज को दबाया जाता है। इनको कहा जाता है फ्रस्ट्रेटेड है, इनको कहा जाता है रस्टिकेटेड है। इसलिए है क्योंकि हमारा वोट लिया जाता है और हमें मौका नहीं दिया जाता। 70 साल में कहा प्रधानमंत्री बने मुसलमान को? 70 साल से गांधी प्रधानमंत्री बना, पर कोई दलित नहीं बना, कोई ट्राइबल नहीं बना, कोई क्रिश्चियन नहीं बना, कोई मुसलमान नहीं बना, कोई ओबीसी नहीं बना, सिर्फ राहुल गांधी के परिवार वाले बने। हम सवाल नहीं उठा सकते।
भटकाने का काम कर रहे हैं आप। आज
मैं 15 मिनट मांगता हूँ, 7.5 मिनट आमिर के, 7.5 मिनट मेरे। देने की हिम्मत है? देने की हिम्मत है?
मैं कांग्रेस का एक तो पहले स्पोक्स पर्सन नहीं हूँ।
देंगे
कि नहीं
आप गाली क्यों दे रहे हो?
कोई गाली नहीं दी। ये शोर मचा के डराना चाहते हैं लोगों को। लोग शोर से नहीं डरते।
Let me open this up. Let me get in. Tehseen Poonawalla and Suman C. Raman raising their hands. Tehseen Poonawalla, to you first. Two very valid questions raised by Shehzad Poonawalla and Amir from Aligarh Muslim University. They are saying that do these youngsters have the right to raise questions to the Congress party or not? Ashutosh Mishra says, गड़े मुर्दे उखाड़ क्यों रहे हैं? अरे फ्रीडम ऑफ एक्सप्रेशन के लिए तो फ्रीडम ऑफ एक्सप्रेशन तो कांग्रेस कहती है, बीजेपी नहीं देती है इजाजत लोगों को। अब क्या कांग्रेस भी इजाजत देना बंद कर देगी?
I absolutely stand by Amir's right to ask whatever questions he wants. This is what makes our democracy so special, that a student like Amir can ask an ex-law minister and ex-external affairs minister the toughest of questions. The sad thing about our democracy today is it's collapsing. The Prime Minister takes no questions from common man. The Prime Minister runs away. But leave that. That's another debate for another day. Let's talk on the topic. किसी भी गलती का पश्चाताप उस चीज से चालू होता है जब आप यकीन मानते हो, जब आप उस गलती को मानते हो और उस गलती पे आप सुधार करने की कोशिश करते हो। आपके चैनल टाइम्स नाउ पर राहुल गांधी ने कहा कि हाँ, जब 1984 के riots हुए, when the 1984 riots happened, some congressmen may have been involved. Today, Salman Khurshid has said what it is. It is none less than Mrs. Sonia Gandhi who apologized for the Sikh riots. It is none less than the Honorable Prime Minister Shri Manmohan Singh who apologized for the Sikh riots. What did Prime Minister Modi do? He called victims of the Gujarat riots puppies. Therein is the difference between the Congress and the BJP. My grandfather, my great-grandfather did not go to Jinnah's Pakistan. They came to Nehru's India. Nehru's India gave us equal rights, equal opportunities. I'm an atheist. It gave us equal opportunities to be citizens.
बोला कि ये लोग काम करो इससे, पर आपको इससे हिसाब नहीं मिलेगा, आपको अपना हक नहीं मिलेगा। अपॉलॉजी लो और अपॉलॉजी का झुंझुना जो है बजाते फिरो नेहरू के भारत में। ये आप लीजिए हमको, ये बाकी की लिस्ट जो गिनाई गई है 2018 तक पहुंचे नहीं, 90 सेकंड खत्म हो गए। वो उसके लिए 20,000 जानों के लिए कौन भरपाई करेगा? 70 साल में 40% आबादी को कभी प्रधानमंत्री बनने का मौका नहीं दिया क्योंकि एक परिवार को बनाना था। 82 के बाद कोई मुसलमान को मुख्यमंत्री नहीं बनाया गया क्योंकि एक परिवार से बनाना था। ये हमको झुंझुना देते हैं, मुसलमान को प्राइम मिनिस्टर नहीं चाहिए झुंझुना।
नहीं कहनाई, आप कह रहे हैं कि नेहरू जी के ऊपर यकीन करा, ठीक। अब सवाल ये पैदा होता है कि आप इंट्रोस्पेक्ट करिए, जो लोग इस दुनिया से जा चुके हैं, उनके जो लोग भी आज मौजूद हैं और जो लोग आज जिंदा हैं, वो इंट्रोस्पेक्ट करें कि दिल्ली की जामा मस्जिद से खड़े होकर कांग्रेस के उस टाइम के मुस्लिम लीडर ने जो हमें यकीन दिलाया था कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन का, उन्होंने ये बात बोली थी। उनकी स्पीच यूट्यूब पे मौजूद है, आप चेक कर लीजिएगा। उन्होंने बोला था कि हिंदू तुम्हारा मजहबी मुखालिफ तो हो सकता है लेकिन तुम्हारा वतनी मुखालिफ नहीं है। आज मैं सवाल करता हूं, 70 साल के बाद आज की जनरेशन सवाल कर रही है उन तमाम लीडर से और उस मुस्लिम लीडर से भी जिन्होंने यकीन दिलाया था, उस पंडित नेहरू से भी, गांधी जी से भी और सरदार वल्लभ भाई पटेल से भी, जिन्होंने हिंदुस्तान के सेकुलरिज्म का वादा किया था।
मैं जवाब देता हूं,
उसका यकीन दिलाया था। मेरी बात पूरी होने दीजिए, मेरी बात पूरी होने दीजिए। जिन्होंने यकीन दिलाया था, आज उनकी जनरेशन, कांग्रेस पार्टी और हिंदुस्तान के सेकुलरिज्म का दावा करने वाले तमाम लीडर्स इंट्रोस्पेक्ट करें, वो सेल्फ इंट्रोस्पेक्शन करें कि आज सेकुलरिज्म का दावा करने वाले कहां चले गए। आखिर जो लोग
सही सवाल उठाया, सही सवाल उठाया आमिर ने। I ask you तहसीन पूनावाला, I am asking you a simple question. Amir raised a question, Salman Khurshid answered the question in Aligarh. Today, what did he say? The Congress party distanced itself from Salman Khurshid, and what did Salman Khurshid do? He took a U-turn. He said he's been misconstrued. I'm asking Suman C. Raman. Suman C. Raman, is Salman Khurshid owning up what he said in Aligarh, or is he taking? I'm coming back to you, Tehseen Poonawala. Let Suman C. Raman, who hasn't spoken yet, let him make a point.
No, Navika, just one point.
Yes,
just one point.
Just very important.
No, 1 minute. Can I come in? I haven't spoken.
Yes, Suman.
No, Navika. First of all, Mr. Khurshid is too senior a leader not to have known the implications of what he spoke. So clearly what his agenda is in using terms like stained with blood and all that, he could have said pretty much the same thing without using such expressions. So clearly what his agenda is, he has been distancing himself from the Congress party's position, not now. He has been distancing himself on the issue of impeachment. He has been distancing himself on the issue of triple talaq. There is a whole lot of things over the last 6 months to a year where Mr. Khurshid's position has been at variance with that of the Congress party. Now, why that is so, one doesn't know. We'll have to wait and see how things play out over the next few months. But clearly, it is absurd to believe that such a senior leader like Mr. Salman Khurshid would have used the language that he used to reply to that question without knowing that it would be the topic of prime time debates. It would be used to embarrass the Congress party for weeks together, and especially with an election also ahead. So clearly there is something more to it than DCI. I don't think this is a relevant statement. And now that the Congress has distanced itself from the statement, I don't know how Mr.
Absolutely. We should hail Mr. Salman Khurshid.
मैं इस चीज में सलमान खुर्शीद साहब की तारीफ करना चाहूंगा.
After all, Tehseen Poonawala, there's nothing wrong in admitting your mistakes, apologizing and moving on. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with that? And Salman Khurshid is head and shoulders above every other political leader because he actually accepted the fact that yes, there is a record, there is a stained record that they have, and they need to move on, and they need to give people the assurance that in
Navika,
future they will protect them.
Navika,
what's wrong with that?
You should also remember that 3 years ago, the CBI actually returned a case which was against Mr. Khurshid's family trust and gave it back to the UP government. I think that
you have gone to CBI now. You are inventing a new theory, Rahman. What is the theory,
no,
Rahman?
3 years ago, did it happen?
What do you know about that?
Did it happen or not?
Why you are twisting?
Did it happen or not?
Who is doing that?
Is that a lie?
What is the CBI?
Sir, did it happen or not? Sir, I am asking you, sir.
Congress should learn. Persons like this gentleman who questions, Congress is unable to answer him. Rahul Gandhi should come and clean and answer this gentleman. What he has been silent? Why he is silent?
And he should be thankful to Congress that he doesn't have to go through. He doesn't have to go through.
You are offending him. You are intolerant. You are intolerant person.
That's what I'm saying. That is what secularism is all about, and freedom of speech is all about. Where a Congress leader can
you are anti-Hindu and you are talking anti-Hinduism.
Sambit Patra, Dr. Sambit Patra, just like Mr. Salman Khurshid. 1 minute.
That is real secularism. Sajjad Poonawala and Hamid are true seculars. They are true seculars.
You are trying to create a divide.
Yes, you are already divided. You are already divided. Sajjad Poonawala and Hamid are true seculars. They are two seculars.
Navika, since I have to leave, I'll be quick to make a last point before leaving.
Mr. Rajagopalan,
just allow me a few seconds. I have to leave.
So I also wants to come in.
I just have to make I have to make us.
Yes,
just 30 seconds. I have to leave. So I'll just take 30 seconds. Then I'll just take 30 seconds. Then I would leave. I would just request others not to interject because I would be leaving anyways.
You can't leave in the middle of the debate.
Just allow
Shoot and scoot is not something that's allowed on the Newshour.
No issues.
Doc, you are not allowed to go.
No issues, but allow me just 30 seconds.
You can't go.
Yes, make your point.
Oh, just a second. Number one, first and foremost, to all those people who have been talking about ki gade murde kyun khadna hai, remember it is not just Amir who spoke about that. Remember, even Salman Khurshid came out, and upon being questioned by you, he said that why talk about the past? Man, this thing has to be reminded to Mr. Rahul Gandhi. I mean, gade murde kyun khadna hai? Mr. Rahul Gandhi gets up in the morning and he visits the Manu Smriti as if Mr. Modi has written the Manu Smriti. Then he goes to 1925 to the formation of RSS. Then he visits 1947 questioning where was the Bharatiya Janata Party when the freedom struggle was going on. Every morning he travels back in the time and he has the audacity of asking कि गड़े मुर्दे क्यों उखाड़ना है? Mr. Ashutosh Mishra, you question us गड़े मुर्दे क्यों उखाड़ना है? Just a second, Ashutosh जी आपसे हाथ जोड़ के निवेदन है, मुझे जाना है, इसलिए आप सुन लीजिए, उसके बाद आप पढ़िएगा, मुझे सिर्फ 30 सेकंड बोलने दीजिए, मैं सुना नहीं, आप तो सुन लीजिए, अभी तो सुन लीजिए, पहले मैं आपसे हाथ जोड़ के निवेदन करता हूं, ऐसे बड़ी बड़ी आंखें दिखा के मुझे बात मत करिए। आशुतोष जी, आशुतोष जी,
15 मिनट
सुन लीजिए, आशुतोष जी सुन बोलने,
नॉट प्राइम मिनिस्टर,
आशुतोष जी, रामचंद्रन जी बोलने दीजिए, प्लीज बोलने दीजिए, प्लीज लेट मी कंप्लीट। राजगोपालन जी बोलने दीजिए, Rajgopalan ji, will you allow others to speak also?
Thank you, Mr. Rajgopalan. Allow the BJP to make its official point.
आशुतोष जी आपसे हाथ जोड़ के निवेदन है, इतने बड़ी बड़ी आंखें करके ऐसे गुस्से से बात मत करिए, मुस्कुरा के कांग्रेस को प्रोटेक्ट करिए। देखिए गड़े मुर्दे तो कोई भी उखाड़ सकता है, एंड रिमेंबर स्पेशली व्हेन इट इज अबाउट राइट्स एंड हाउ मेनी पीपल हैव डाइड बिकॉज ऑफ द मिसगवर्नेंस एंड बिकॉज ऑफ अपीजमेंट पॉलिटिक्स ऑफ द कांग्रेस पार्टी, ऑफ कोर्स दीज क्वेश्चंस वुड बी आस्क्ड, एंड माय सिंसियर एडवाइस टू माय गुड फ्रेंड तहसीन पूनावाला इज डोंट कॉल इंडिया एज नेहरूज इंडिया, दिस इज इंडियंस इंडिया, दिस इज इंडियंस इंडिया, दिस इज नॉट नेहरूज इंडिया. It may be Jinnah's Pakistan, but this is not Nehru's India. This is India which belongs to each one of us. And thirdly and very importantly, just Mr. Ashutosh Mishra, you are not Tehseen Poonawala. Let me just complete by saying that where is Mr. Rahul Gandhi? He was the one, he was speaking about Samvidhan Bachao. He was the one who was telling democracy khatre mein hai. He was the one who wanted to save the constitution and democracy of this country. Will he come out and answer today as to why thousands and lakhs of people lost their lives because the democracy of this country was
but
not
Dr. Salman Khurshid, but Dr. Salman Khurshid,
70 years, constitution was not
while
upheld.
you are quick to hear Amir's question for Mr. Salman Khurshid, why don't you listen to Amir's question? He's posing to you. He's posing a question to you, Amir. पूछिए आप.
सिविलियंस का खून बीजेपी रिजीम में भी बहा है पात्रा जी, और आप कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन की बात कर रहे हैं. आपके बैकएंड पर जो पेरेंट ऑर्गेनाइजेशन बैठी है वो कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन को चेंज करने के लिए नया कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन डिजाइन करके बैठी है. अगर आपको यकीन ना हो, वैसे तो आपको सब पता है, आपको यकीन ना हो तो मैं पोस्टर दिखाऊं, मेरे पास है इस टाइम.
दिखाइए कौन सा पोस्टर आप बता रहे हैं.
लेट मी शो.
अभी कांग्रेस लोग खुशी हो जाएगा.
किसने पोस्टर निकाला?
हाँ, ये कौन सा पोस्टर आप कह रहे हैं?
ये
अधिकृत है पोस्टर? ये अधिकृत है कोई पोस्टर? ये कि अलीगढ़ मुस्लिम यूनिवर्सिटी का पोस्टर है?
जल्दी पोस्टर दिखाइए, मैं फिर उत्तर दूंगा.
जो बोल रहे थे ये पॉलिटिकल हैकलर है, अब बोल रहे पोस्टर दिखाओ, सवाल सुनो इनका. अरे आशुतोष मिश्रा जब राहुल गांधी से सवाल पूछा,
ये पोस्टर हो सकता है कि कहीं डेरोगेटरी हो, कुछ ऑब्जेक्शनेबल हो.
काउंटर
बाद में देखेंगे. आप पोस्टर को रख दीजिए. आप बताइए.
मैं रख देता हूं. countercurrents.org का ये आर्टिकल है. जिस दिन कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन ऑफ इंडिया इंप्लीमेंट हुआ था उसी दिन इसका अपोज किया गया था बाय आरएसएस. इसके ऊपर ये countercurrent.org का पूरा आर्टिकल है. अगर पात्रा जी आपको चाहिए मैं मेल कर सकता हूं आपको.
लेकिन डॉक्टर संबित पात्रा, the point he is making is that no political party can point finger at the other. Questions have to be asked to the entire political system.
All political organizations are equal. खून सबके दामन पर है.
इतना चीज राहुल गांधी बोल सकता है. नंबर 1 भाई राहुल गांधी से जाकर मिल लीजिए, बेटर होगा. कैसे बोलना चीज कर लीजिए.
पर राहुल गांधी से तो शहजाद पूनावाला अंदर रहकर नहीं मिल पाए. वो तो कांग्रेस में थे.
मैं तो पूरा राहुल गांधी को मैसेज कर दिया जाए. आमिर का भी सवाल मैसेज कर दिया.
Allegations against the Bharatiya Janata Party. Can the Bharatiya Janata Party answer it? Thank you. See, as far as the allegation of Amir that the Bharatiya Janata Party or the RSS wants to change the constitution of this country, these are unfounded. I have to be extremely serious in rebutting these because I don't want to be rhetoric on this. Amir bhai, it is not for the first instance that Bharatiya Janata Party has come to governance during Mr. Modi. Before also, during Bajpayee ji's eras, we were in governance in the central government for 6 long years. We have been in governance in various quarters of this country for a long period of time. We have not even looked towards aberrating, changing, or in any way destroying any part of the constitution of this country, leave aside changing the constitution in toto. Secondly, as far as allegations of riots etc. are concerned, let me tell you, the Congress party has followed the British rule of divide and rule in this country. Only yesterday, Mr. Rahul Gandhi was talking about democracy bachao and Samvidhan bachao, while जिस दिन उन्होंने छोला भटूरा खा के प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस क्या किया था, व्रत किया था, उपवास किया था. उस दिन जगदीश टाइटलर और सज्जन कुमार जब आए थे छोले भटूरे के पास, तो उस दिन क्या हुआ था? Why did the Congress party drive away Jagdish Tytler and Sajjan Kumar? If they were all pious people, why were they driven away? They were driven away because the Congress knows that their hand is smeared with blood. कि ये खूनी पंजा है, इसको बचाया नहीं जा सकता है. But this is double speak. If you know this is खूनी पंजा, then you have to come out and apologize.
Very important charges. Now, I want to answer Sambit Patra step by step. Dr. Patra, your first point about the constitution, I would request you to read Golwalkar ji is a bunch of, or to take a stand here and say that Golwalkar ji is a bunch of thoughts is not a real book. Read what he has to say about the constitution and about the tricolor. He says the tricolor is evil because it has 3 colors in it, and 3 colors is an evil number in India. Point number 2, it's considered evil and inauspicious. Point number 2, your minister Anant Kumar Hegde says he wants to change the constitution. Point number 3, yes, the Congress asked Jagdish Tytler and Sajjan Kumar to leave the venue. I am proud Rahul Gandhi's Congress that did that. Your party saves Maya Kodnani when she was accused of killing 97 women and kids. You all made a women and child welfare minister. You all have given that Sangeet Som Z-grade security. You all have given hate mongers like Subramaniam Swamy Z+ security. You guys are in power. And to Amir, my last point, Amir bhai, Congress ने शायद मुसलमानों को उतना नहीं दिया जो मुसलमानों को मिलना चाहिए. मैं इस बात से सहमत हूं. लेकिन आप जाकर पाकिस्तान की ओर देखिए. जिन्ना के पाकिस्तान में मुसलमान ही मुसलमान को मारता है. आज मुझे फक्र है मेरे हिंदुस्तान में कि अजीम प्रेम जी जैसे, शाहरुख जैसे, सलमान खान जैसे, आमिर खान जैसे मुसलमान है. दुनिया भर में शौहरत मिलती है. ये आप नेहरू की देन है. नेहरू की देन क्या है? आप मुझे बताइए आमिर भाई.
पाकिस्तान मेरा मुल्क नहीं है. मैं इंडिया पर डिबेट करने बैठा हूं. इंडिया मेरा
नहीं है. लेकिन अजीम प्रेम जी जैसे लोग हिंदुस्तान में हिंदुस्तान का नाम सारे जंग में रोशन करते हैं, तो वो नेहरू की देन है, वो संविधान की देन है, वो महात्मा गांधी की देन है, वो कांग्रेस की देन है.
क्या नेहरू, गांधी और कांग्रेस, ये देश सिर्फ नेहरू, गांधी और कांग्रेस?
अम्बेडकर ने कुछ नहीं किया, पटेल ने कुछ नहीं किया, मौलाना आजाद ने कुछ नहीं किया, ये लोगों ने कुछ नहीं किया. मौलाना आजाद की तकरीर का जिक्र हुआ जिसके चलते यहाँ के मुसलमान भारत में रहे और पाकिस्तान को नकारा, पर मौलाना आजाद का नाम नहीं आता. सिर्फ महात्मा गांधी को एक बार बोल देते हैं और राहुल गांधी तक चले जाते हैं, जैसे कि राहुल गांधी महात्मा गांधी के परिवार से है. ये इनकी मानसिकता है, क्योंकि इनकी शुरुआत नेहरू से होती है और राहुल गांधी तक खत्म होती है. प्रिंसिपल महात्मा गांधी का एक नहीं है. आंतरिक लोकतंत्र का प्रिंसिपल है. अगर है तो मुझे बताइए कि सलमान खुर्शीद की बात को क्यों कह दिया कि ये गलत बात कह रहे हैं? कांग्रेस से क्यों नहीं अपनाया? आप अपना रहे हैं तो आप तो कह रहे हैं कि हमारे दाग अच्छे हैं और उनके दाग गंदे हैं.
I want to ask you, if today Amir is raising these questions, if Amir is raising these questions, with what face does the Congress raise the baton of secularism, saying and certifying itself as the most secular party and raising questions about the BJP? What about its own record of
No, the point is parties which live in glass houses can't throw stones. So I think both the parties have plenty to answer for over the years. But having said that, the point about changing the constitution has been a consistent stand taken by many leaders over the last 25-30 years. Most recently in December of last year, when Mr. Anantkumar Hegde actually said that he wanted to that we, quote unquote, we are here to change the constitution.
Mr.
So I think that,
the 42nd amendment which was brought in during
which is what the Congress party
you
is
remember
doing
the 42nd amendment which was brought in by Mrs. Indira Gandhi?
Dr. Patra wants
when the basic structure of the constitution can't be changed, you also know this. And as far as amending the constitution is concerned, it's been amended over 100 times, including for GST. So why are you spreading this rumor about the constitution being destroyed?
No.
Is the constitution ever under threat?
Dr. Samit Patra is countering you. Yes, Dr. Samit Patra.
Amending it for GST.
Yes, Dr. Samit Patra.
Dr. Sumanti Raman. Dr. Sumansi Raman, I want to counter you. First and foremost, when you talk about changing the constitution, I have already replied to that part of your question. But coming to the two words which are the words which have often been discussed and I think gone into lens as far as constitution is concerned, these are secularism and socialism. Remember, as far as secularism and socialism are concerned, initially, because of Baba Saheb Ambedkar's detailed knowledge of India's culture, he did not include these two words in the preamble of India's constitution, and upon being asked, he said that inherently India is a secular country, that's why it need not include secularism in the preamble. And since socialism is a mention, I would not like to include socialism because I do not know what the future thought of India would be. But these two words were brought in by Indira Gandhi during the emergency era because she wanted to play appeasement politics. Yes. Remember, the basic construct of Congress party was not secularism. It was appeasement in the name of, in the garb of secularism. And that is what has been exposed today by the speech inadvertently by Salman Khurshid. Why, you mean to say Baba Saheb Ambedkar was wrong and Indira Gandhi was right? Do you mean to suggest that?
No, sir. No,
do you mean to say Baba Saheb Ambedkar was wrong?
To say that? Look,
you read his interview. Baba Saheb was asked the same question that should we not include secularism in the preamble. He said no, we should not include secularism because India is inherently secular.
situation was in the 40s and 1950s vis-a-vis the position in the 70s and 80s. Things have changed. So there is a need when times change to emphasize or re-emphasize certain things and certain values.
No, we all know the need.
Absolutely.
We all know the need of Indira Gandhi.
One of my viewers on Involve.in, Ravindra Hegde is asking the basic question. He's asking the basic question, if somebody like Salman Khurshid can actually see the flaws in his own party, should every political party not take a step back, look at the flaws, resolve them and then move forward? Would we not, all of us, look at our own political parties that we voted to power if they were to recognize their own faults and listen to questions that are being raised by the youngsters of today, youngsters like Amir, youngsters who are being called political hecklers just because they ask inconvenient questions? That's the question we as a nation need to think about. As I thank all my guests tonight on the News Hour, I want to leave this thought with you, the viewer. Which party do you think has a clean record? And do you think Congress has blood stains? The statement made by Salman Khurshid, did the Congress do right when it distanced itself from that statement, or would it have been right for the Congress party to recognize its own flaws and then apologize and make amends? That's for you, the viewer, to judge. Thank you very much for joining me on this big debate. Taking a short break, Anand Narsimhan with the News Hour at 10. Up next, don't go away.